Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone. Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name is Chris Broome and I am your host. Today I am delighted to welcome back to the show a very good friend of ours, Roz Bird, who is the Commercial Director, MEPC, who are looking after our home at Silverstone Park. Roz, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Chris. It's really nice to come back and have a chat with you and catch up.
Yeah, no, phenomenal. I've been looking forward to doing this. I know you're a very, very busy lady to pin down, so we do appreciate you coming on for 10 minutes, which I'm sure we will whiz through very quickly. We've got a list of things to talk through, but I'm just going to throw it out there and say, what's going on with Silverstone Park at the moment? Because I'm seeing lots of development, I'm seeing lots of news. It's really exciting. Tell everybody what's going on.
I know. Well, it's been fantastic. I mean, especially considering what year we've had with the pandemic. At the beginning of the year, it was already looking fantastic, and then when the pandemic hit us, I thought, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen now. Everything's going to go wrong, you know, as you do, because you don't know what's going to happen next. Sure. But it didn't, and so what's happened is we've continued to build. So we've got 260,000 square feet that we're on site with at the moment. Yeah. And if you think we've only got 400,000 square feet on site at the moment, that is a significant leap forward in terms of size of the community at Silverstone Park. 13 units, so 6 more terrace units and the rest detached units, bigger units than we've ever built at Silverstone Park before, going up to sort of 20, 30 and 40,000 square footers. But at the moment, the largest units are 20. So, you know, really good step forward. Yeah. And a spine road going in to open up all the development land. And so we started that off just before Christmas last year. And like I say, really good response from the community. Lots of companies saying they would like to come, lots of companies with heads of terms out and then going into solicitors. And then the pandemic hit and construction had to even stop as well for a bit. But the Barn would have been brilliant actually as a construction company, the main contractor. And they got back on site as quickly as they could. It was mainly to do with, you know, how do the people who work on the site get to work, because they were car sharing. And then once on site, what is the appropriate things to do, the measures to put in place. And then a bit about, you know, supplies and getting the supplies, the various things that they needed, whether it be cladding or steel or whatever. So I think they did a lot of the earth movement work. They sort of switched the programme around a bit. Once they could get people back, they were then in the diggers sorting out the spine road and getting all the land leveled, basically, whilst waiting for everyone else to come back. And so we lost probably about a month or two, I think, at most. And so we should have completed all of the buildings by end of this month, but we're actually going to complete all of them by the end of November, first week of December. But that seems to be fine. That was sort of something we had to sort out back in the summer, to be honest with you. And then over the summer, would you believe it, even with the lockdown and everything, we still had companies viewing, companies talking to us, and a bit more deals going in to solicitors and deals exchanging, which means that they're in for it. And you know, we haven't needed to change any of our terms or anything like that, because we believe we've got something that is of value. And you know, the market feedback has been, you know, it's about a long-term plan for a lot of these companies. So you know, KWS have taken one of the units, it's a 20,000 square footer. They're putting a specialist sort of advanced manufacturing facility in there, doing additive manufacturing on industrial scale. Kieran's got quite a lot on LinkedIn about that if anyone's interested. And what's lovely about what he's doing and a number of the others is bringing specialist facilities to Silverstone and then opening it up so other companies can come in and use those facilities. That's part of the business model, and getting young people in. to see the facilities and sort of get involved and hopefully to inspire them. So there's that. 81, who are a Swiss drinks company, a bit like Monster or something like that, or Red Bull. And they've also got an ex-service personnel racing team, and that's part of their sort of relationship is, and their business model is to sponsor this racing team. So they wanted to be at Silverstone, so they've taken. And then PWR, who do cooling, they've just announced that they're coming in one of the terrace units. And then, like I say, there's quite a few others that are just about to exchange. Two will probably exchange today. There's one that exchanged last week that we haven't announced to the press yet, because we're waiting for them to say okay to do it. But that's quite a significant building. It's a 30,000 square footer. And two are in legals at the moment. One's a 30 and one's a 40. Nice. So basically, I'm going to be left with about 60,000 of the 260, about that, slightly more.
So, as you said, so COVID's obviously created an element of uncertainty, but you know, we're now October, nearly November, and you know, most of the units have already exchanged or
yeah, just 4 left.
So there's 4 left, and then are there plans for more development beyond that?
Yeah, we got, what we also did during this period, we started last November, was get planning consent for the next phase, for phase 3. It's another sort of 260,000 square feet, and that's different again. That's 2 90s, and then a couple of smaller buildings. And yeah, the next step for me is thinking about whether we go ahead and speculatively build or not, and that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. Should I be speccing those units or not? And you know, on one level, well, it all depends on what market intelligence you've got and what the feedback is, to be honest with you. But on one level, it would be nice to carry on. But as I always say to people that are saying to me, but it's so good, you should carry on, is like the future really bears no relation on the past as such. I mean, yeah, if you can keep the momentum going and there's demand, but you need to know who's out there that's going to come and take these other buildings. But yeah, we've got reserve matters consents. That's a significant investment by the owners into getting that planning consent at that level. And now I'm also thinking about where I should get my next bit of planning consent. So we just keep going. There just seems to be such interest in all size of units, you know, from little small units starting out wanting to use that Silverstone name and community, through to the larger companies that really will bring their presence to bear. And yeah, so it's going really well.
Yeah, very exciting. And you know, it coincides. So at Longhurst, just a little plug here, so Longhurst launched a corporate service 2 weeks ago called Enterprise, where we're going to be basically working or supporting business owners and the employees. So we've got a sort of employee focused financial wellbeing service, so confidential service where they can meet with us for sort of 30 minutes to talk about whatever they want, and also a board level service into the owners. So part of the reason we're doing this is because of what you're doing on Silverstone Park.
Okay, well, like I've said to others that we've introduced to the new companies that are coming, you know, they're growing. Some of them are companies that are on site already that are taking more space or larger spaces, and others are new to the park. And in all cases, obviously, they're growing and investing in their business.
Sure.
And so, you know, it'd be appropriate as a member of the community for me to introduce you to them.
Okay.
So if you want to send an email through with the information, we'll forward that on to them.
Cool, very kind. Silverstone Technology Cluster. So you are the chair still of
the chair. Yeah, it's going fine. I mean, obviously, it's a bit better in some ways for networking organizations these days, because on Zoom you can, you know, it's so much easier for people to access content, and you feel like you're doing it without having to get in your car early in the morning, find a, you know, battle through the traffic and all that, and all the, you know, the carbon footprint of an event, if you're conscious of that, which we've always been. So yeah, I think I mean, Pim and the team have done a brilliant job of organising all these sort of webinars, technically organised so that it works smoothly, and jumping straight in there to help people when they were sort of in their hour of need as the laws changed, and, you know, tax and furlough and everything else, the various offers the government was making, getting members on from the community to talk to the companies that needed to ask those questions has worked really well. So kind of proud of that. And we did our bit, didn't we, at the beginning, to try and see if we could source PPE for the local hospital as well, which was good to do. Feel like you're sort of helping the war effort in a way. It's how it felt then, didn't it? And then some of the things that we've been, really trying to make sure we don't drop other sort of less urgent but very important things like the gender equality in the workplace conversation we've been having. As you probably remember, we set up a gender equality and diversity committee back in March. And we always planned to do an event in October, and we were going to do it, in the Innovation Centre at Silverstone. But anyway, we decided it would go online, and we did it last week, and it was fantastic. It was a really powerful event, and I've got a link to it that I can send to you.
We'll put it in the show notes.
I've been offering people CPD certificates if they'd like to watch it and let me know they've watched it. I might give them a quiz to check they have watched it.
Okay.
2 hours on, what do we mean by gender equality in the workplace? Why is it important to businesses? And it was a business growth event, you see. So it's like, okay, 51% of the population are women. And when you go into schools, as we do with Inspiration for Innovation, you kind of look across in the assembly hall at hundreds of young people. And really what you're thinking as a business person is you hope all of the ones with the right attitude want to come and work in your industry. So why don't 51% of the population apply for jobs in engineering and, that sort of thing? And it's a very low percentage of females that go into engineering and motorsport and automotive. And it's all about their perception of what it would be like to work in those companies, really. So, all of the way that these industries are presented on the web and the images and the language that's used. But it is actually also about what those workplaces are like. And, when you meet young women, enthusiastic, motivated, clever, they imagine they're going to have an amazing career working in motorsport. And then you know what you know about how those companies work, what it's like there. And you think, oh, I'm not sure it's going to match their expectations. And so we've been talking about how can we improve the workplace and make it fit for these young people so that you're attracting all the best ones, male, female, and then you're also retaining them. And all that motivation, enthusiasm gets, supported and they flourish. And we talk about things like casual sexism being, part of the problem. All that pink job, blue job stuff that people talk about is part of the problem. So stop doing it, and but I suppose what's really important, what I tried to say at the beginning, which I hope helps and is a bit of a leveler, is to say that, gender equality in the workplace isn't a women's issue, it's society's issue. Like childcare isn't a women's issue, it's society's issue. And, as many women who want to have a nursery near to where they work or be able to pick their kids up from school, men want to do that too. And they should both have the right to do it. And equally, for as many sort of sexist men you meet sexist women. And it's just about how we're parented. And so we talked about that. And Hannah Ingram-Moore, Captain Tom Moore's daughter, was on it. She's part of the committee talking about steps you can take as a business to try and start sorting this out and work out sort of in your own company what's happening and what the barriers are. And Julia Muir's got a book coming out in February, and you've had her on this programme before, so maybe talk to her again about it when this book's coming out.
Already done. So the episode,
she's mentioned it.
Yeah, but the episode literally before this is being aired was, I think, is Julia's. So I
Brilliant.
Had it on last week. Her
book, and all about why having gender balanced teams is really good for business. So that's been good. That's an STC project of mine. And then we've got the annual conference coming up, and we've pretty much got the same speakers. We've had to reduce it a bit because you can't do a whole day on Zoom, but we've got some good speakers. And
so that's going to be a virtual event.
It is, yeah. And we can put some details on with this as well, so people can see. That'll be online. Pim will manage all of that, and we've got all the good speakers that we were expecting to have, but we're just going ahead with it.
Good. Yeah, I mean, the STC conference, the physical one's phenomenal. So it's a shame it's not physically happening this year, and look forward very much to next year's because
I think people will still get a lot out of this.
Sure,
Still got sort of a keynote from Andrea Leadsom at the end of the day about government, and we've got a futurologist, sort of international level speaker. We've got report backs from the special interest groups where they're introducing sort of like one of the best speakers from the year, where you thought that was a phenomenal presentation. Let's get them on for the benefit of the whole membership. And I think Pim's got it sorted so that people can network as well on the.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. You can just have breakout rooms where folk can just sit there and just gas bag and have a topic to talk about, or just freestyle and just talk about whatever they want. So yeah, it's a great idea. So yeah, we're plugging into that. So I'll be there. Cool.
Good.
So right, Roz, phenomenal. 10-15 minutes of great update there. So thank you so much for your time.
Problem.
Two closing questions, then I'll let you get on with the thousands of other things you've got to do. Gas bagging to me. So first question is beyond COVID, life beyond COVID. So we've all had our vaccinations if we've been allowed them. Or allocated them.
Yeah, take the pill.
And it's the new norm. What is it that you're personally looking forward to doing the most that perhaps you can't do at the moment?
Oh, it's so easy to say. Party. Oh, that's what I miss. That is what I miss.
Party.
I miss. Well, yeah, we as a team we normally have a summer party.
Yeah.
And we have a Christmas party, and then there's family. Birthdays and things, and I couldn't believe it. I went over to a family party following the rules, and then I wasn't allowed to sing happy birthday, and it's just like that you're not allowed to sing in groups.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
You're not allowed to blow candles out. You're not allowed to blow candles out. I mean, unless you're in your.
Can't breathe.
If you're, we're in tier 1, and if you're with family members in a group of 6. You can't sing happy birthday and blow a candle out. But it's more than that. I want to go to the pub. I want to go to like the Toaster Brewery and have a few ales and a good chat. And I think we all deserve it. We've worked so hard. So I make up for it. We need double parties as soon as there's a vaccine.
I love it. You're the first person out of 20 odd COVID catch-ups that I've done in the last month.
Really?
That said party, and I love.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not those party. So
yeah, no, I just want to socialise and see people and relax and have a party.
Oh, look, I'll be there sharing a brew with you, definitely. Or a brew club or a beer or whatever it is at the brewery. So fantastic. Last question. And so this question, Roz, is taking me decades to write. I've travelled the world. I've been to Nepal. I've spoken to monks. I've spoken to the Buddhas. To come up with this challenging question for you, Roz.
Right.
So I need you to prepare.
I'm nervous
yourself,
now.
and I'm going to give it a drum roll. And in line with the gender equality point that you raised earlier, very important point. What is the queen of crisps?
It's got to be cheese and onion Walkers. Normal size packet as well. You don't need to overeat them. You just need a normal packet of crisps. And to be honest with you, I might put them inside my cheese sandwich as well to eat them. That'd be the preferred method of eating at my party with my real ale.
Bravo to putting it in a sandwich. I said the same. We've had a couple of cheesy What's It fans, and I've said, look, putting that in a Dairy sandwich is just another level. If you've never done that,
that's mixing it up quite a bit.
And but don't you think with crisps, certainly Walkers, you're getting less now in the bag? I know it's all about commercialization.
The grab bags are too much, really. You don't need that. You just need the normal size bag that used to get in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah, I miss those days.
Technical questions. You see, I'm good at those.
I like it. Roz Bird from MEPC Silverstone Park. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. Always a good sport. You are. I'm not even sure what episode you are. You're coming up to episode 90. We're nearly 100.
Wow.
We've got a special 100th being lined up, which I need your support with. So I'll talk to you about that off air.
Okay.
You'll provide me with some links for the show notes for some of the things that you've spoken about. out so we can make sure folk can find out about that, especially the gender equality piece, and if there's information they can read up or watch, that'd be great. And I very much look forward to seeing what's happening on Silverstone Park over the coming months and forthcoming years, because as you've said, it's growing. We're really excited. It's the reason we're here on site, supporting the community. So thank you for all the hard work that you and the team are doing.
No problem. Love it.
Take care.
Cheers, Chris.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.